Greetings again, guys. I've actually just figured out what's wrong with these bastard Galaxy gears. Pretty much what happens is for some reason or another, I'm not exactly sure, I just figured this out randomly, and I reckon this is the perfect fix, and it's fixed heaps of phones that I've done before. This is just a follow-up video. Basically what I did is I removed those 4 screws on the back of the Gear 1. This is the SMV 700, and basically what this is, you've got to be really careful. You do undo those 4 screws and get your fingernail, pry open the sides, be very gentle. There is one flat flex cable in there. Don't bother undoing it or anything, just basically just rip out the don't rip anything out, just basically just take it apart, but not completely. Just leave that flat flex cable on there. There's a battery connector, just reseat that, plug it into power, should be charging again. And then once you know that, so basically after you have ripped it apart or taken it gently apart, I just like saying ripping it apart because it's real intense. Quite intense. So after you've fully taken it apart, clip it back together. Just make sure that you only have to take it apart just so that there's like a gap in between the motherboard, the battery, the front, because these things come apart in 2 halves and they're connected by a flat flex cable. You don't have to fully take them both apart or anything, you just have to take them apart probably about 5mm or something like that, and just so there's a nice gap in there so that the battery terminals aren't actually pressing together, and then you put them back together tight. Before you put the screws back in, plug it into the charging cradle, plug it into power, should charge. If not, do it again, and then once you've confirmed that it's working again, pop the 4 screws back in, and she'll be away again like this. But first, follow my first few steps, just to avoid taking it apart. Because if you don't need to take it apart, then there's no point in taking it apart, because you could cause damage to the device, and that's not fun for anyone. So as I say, take a lot of care with flat flex cables, and just be really gentle. You don't actually know what's in there. Well, I didn't know. I wasn't watching a video or anything as to what was actually in there. So that's all the more reason to take more care. And I hope this works for you. This will be very good if it does. There is another video out there. I tried plugging it into the USB ports. This doesn't matter. You could plug it this way. You can plug it into either USB port. But I would recommend getting, instead of using a USB port, make sure that your charger actually works. Try it out on another phone, and before you do this, so that you can rule that out, and make sure that you're using a 1A charger or a 2A charger. The more the better. 1A 5V DC with the micro B, obviously, or mini B or whatever, I can't remember. Just your standard charger. You're probably better off plugging into the wall than you are plugging into USB on this particular occasion. But try either way. If it doesn't work, definitely do that. Try everything, because that's what fixing things all about. Just trying everything, just to get your shit working again. Anyway, that's it from me. Catch you later, dude.